Alright, hope you're doing well today. deadPik4chU here, and I'm bringing you an awesome Red Dead Online video showing you all how to spawn legendary animals in free roam. Now I'm going to bring up the animal field guide here just so I can show you my entries for the legendary animals. So if we take a look at the dark ones, I was able to get all of them stamped and their entries filled out, as well as the light. All the available ones currently, I was able to fulfill each and every single one of the entries. Now I'm going to show you how to do this by two different methods. Now this is important. Why? Because later on we're going to be getting the rest of the legendary animals and we'll have access to the full sets. One sells for 700, the other ones they sell for less, but they all get a great amount. And if you're going to want to farm these samples and full sets, you're going to need to be able to spawn these free roam legendary animals. So I'm going to offer two techniques, the first one being the clear method and the second one I call the load method. So starting off with the clear method, I'm going to be here in the town of Valentine during the middle of the day, and I'm going to bring up my field guide and we're going to take a look at the Katana Elk entry. Now I am missing a sample, a photograph, and I need to sedate it. So we're going to go ahead and ride out to the area where it spawns. If you need to know the area and the time of day and weather for these animals, I have another video showing you how to find out that information. But this one, I'm just going to focus on how to spawn them in. So let's ride on out to that area and I'll show you what I like to call the clear method. So I'm going to be riding out here and you're going to see me feed and brush my horse. Now I don't know if this helps or not, but I usually like to have my horse well fed and brushed before going out and venturing for these legendary animals. Now as you see, as I rode out town, I didn't get the legendary animal to spawn, but I got a different free roam encounter to appear. It's a moonshiner roadblock. Now there's different types of free roam encounters that you'll find that are random events. So this one is the roadblock. There's also the gang hideout, there's a poacher free roam event, and there's also a campsite to defend. Those ones I go in and clear and fully complete. The other ones, like the escort missions, basically anything where you have to give a ride to an NPC or go out of the area, I won't accept and do. Instead, I'll just trample over the NPC that's offering that mission and it usually clears it out that way. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep going with this mission, and after it's done we're gonna see what happens. Now I'm towards the end of this mission here. I'm gonna be taking out the last few targets and boom, mission passed. We cleared out that free roam encounter, right? So then I like to stay in the area a bit, loot the bodies before I leave right away, because maybe something else will pop up and appear, another random free roam encounter. And as you see, boom, I got that gold question mark down there at the bottom of my mini map. So the legendary animal that I needed spawned in right after I cleared out this roadblock. So this method really does work when you have the opportunity or chance to get it to spawn in. So like I said, it's all random, but doing this really does help out getting that other event to spawn in. Keeping that roadblock there would never spawn in this animal. You have to go in and clear out the other random encounters that you get if it's not the legendary animal when you go into that area. That's the whole purpose of this clear method. So now I'm going to continue to take a picture, sample, sedate, and track this so I can fill up its entry, and then we will go on to the second method that I use when getting these legendary animals to spawn in, and that is called the load method. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'm in the area of Coulter and I'm going to bring up the animal field guide here and we're going to take a look at the animal that I need. Now as you see here, I'm going to look at the light entry and I need this legendary snowflake moose. I have to sedate it and sample it in order to complete its entry. So I'm going to do that by using the load method. I am in the town of Coulter and I came here around 8:01, so 8ish. I arrive into the area earlier, a few hours or so earlier than the animal spawns, so it guarantees me enough time to ride out there and be able to stay there for a bit So when I do the load method, I can reload into the game at the same location where the animal spawns in. That's the whole point of this. So let's go right over there so I can clarify a bit more. So now I have ridden into the area where the Barrow Lagoon is, and this is the zone or region where the legendary moose spawns. So I like to ride around for a bit, make sure I'm in that area, and as well as look at all the other spawn areas for this animal, make sure I exhaust all the locations just to be sure that it's not currently in this session. So another way to speed up the save process is I like to feed the horse or feed your own character. I find that using an item creates sort of a save state and lets the game know that you're there in that specific location, so that way when you reload, you come back in this specific area. So let's get on into it and show you how I reload. Simply push options, then go to the online section of the menu there, and then from this online menu, go free roam. And when you select free roam, you will go through a loading screen, and the loading screen will take a bit of time, so let's cut through and I will show you after I reload. So I have reloaded into the game for the first time here after arriving in the area, and I will begin to get to my horse and I will ride around a bit, make sure that there's nothing else that spawned in, like a different free roam encounters or something. That way I know that there is no moose currently in the session. So let me ride around and see what's around. So as I ride up and out of the area, I find that there's a different free roam encounter that spawned in. So what I would do usually is I would just right away push start and go into a new session. As you saw, I ran that NPC over. I just wanted to show you that's how I would usually clear out that mission if I was doing the clear method. But since we're doing the loading method, I'm just gonna hit the options menu and go online and reload the game another time. So I'll see you after I reload. Okay, so this is the second time I reloaded into the same area here, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna call my horse and I'm gonna ride out of the area. I'm gonna look for some free roam encounter that spawns in. Hopefully it'll be the legendary animal and not anything else, but we're gonna see. So as I ride up and out of that area, I see this free roam encounter that spawned in and not the legendary animal. So once I see that, I'm gonna hit start and try to load in again here for the third time. So let's go and do that. So I've loaded in a third time here, and that's pretty much the gist of this method. You're just gonna keep reloading into the game over and over. Hopefully you get that free roam animal to spawn in and nothing else will spawn in besides that. So that's what you want. I like this method. It kind of gives you a chance every time you load in. I feel like you're kind of like rolling the dice there, giving yourself an opportunity to get that legendary animal to be the thing that spawns in randomly. So keep doing the same thing over and over, rinse and repeat, push options, go online, go into free roam, and keep loading back into the area. And after you load back into the area, of course, ride around, give a good thorough search for that legendary animal. If it's not the first random encounter that spawns in, then leave, go hit the options and reload, because the more times you load, the more chances you have to get that legendary animal. That's the whole purpose of this method, getting multiple chances. As you see, on my third reload, I was able to get the legendary animal to spawn in. It took me 3 reloads to get the animal, so it's not too bad. Sometimes it'll take more, sometimes it'll take less. You just gotta be patient with it, and you have to keep being persistent. So I was able to successfully find him and sedate him, and someone else spawned in too. They were looking for this moose. Luckily they needed the sample as well, so we didn't have to fight for it, and we were able to share that, which is very, very nice to see. Now, if you want to know what it is I really do when going around, I utilize both these techniques hand in hand in a way. So I'll go into a certain area and I'll see what spawns in there randomly, and if it's something that's easy to clear out, I'll go ahead and clear it out, and then I'll see what spawns in after. If I don't get that legendary animal right away, right after, I'll go and reload and try it again, and I'll clear out the first thing that spawns in, and I'll see what comes about after. Or sometimes if the area is very concentrated with the spawn location, I'll just keep loading in over and over and over. Some areas the animal spawns in a broad range, so it's not very practical trying to reload into that same session over and over for those types of animals. So it's more practical to go and do the clear method first, and then maybe utilize the load method as well. So play it by ear. With more practice, you'll tend to figure out the best strategy per animal and its location. But these are basically the 2 best techniques that I use, and I got tremendous results doing this, and I was able to spawn in a bunch of legendary animals. So I really do hope this helps you out as well on your journey to getting these animals to spawn in free roam. And I really have to say, thank you so much for watching if you're still watching, and if you found this video helpful or informative in any way, please leave a like. Comment down below as well, let me know anything else you'd like to know about spawning legendary animals in free roam, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Say I choose you, deadPik4chU, and join the deadPik4chU crew today, yeah.